G'day everyone, I'm Dave. Thanks for joining me. Now, this episode is going to be very practical. There is so much hype and so much everything and misconfusion and people just have no idea really about what's going on with AI. I look at the news, people talk about productivity, people are scared of the AI taking over and everything else. I just want to put it into the context that I've been working in to show you a rock hard practical example of how businesses can use AI right now, right? So let's start at the very beginning. We want to utilize the intelligence of AI, which we can now do that we couldn't do, say, 2 years ago, all right? The last 12 months, 6 months, 3 months, the advances have been huge. And businesses that don't understand how this works will find themselves at a huge disadvantage. There is so much press out there about AI doing this, doing that, doing everything else. Talks, the Australian government at the moment are talking about productivity, and AI obviously has to feature in that conversation because I've proven how much productivity you can increase. So what I wanted to do after the last 2 videos, I had lots of people comment and say, right, I need you to show me further. How does this actually work? I'm a small business, I don't understand it. So that's what this video is about. Stay tuned, some of the stuff is going to be, I don't know how it's going to end up. Let's give it a go and see what happens, but we'll go through it step by step. Okay, so the first step is, let's say we start with a business idea. And let's say that business idea involves around building a program or a solution to address that idea. I'll go back to the old faithful Sally because she's fully built and we're at the stage where we're marketing Sally now, and I will show you exactly what we're doing and how it works. I'll also give you a bit of background as to what you can do and some ideas of how you get this stuff started. Obviously, you contact me and I can fix it up, but other than that, all right. So let's start at the beginning. So we'll go down and we'll have a look at Sally. So down here, we can see this is Sutherland Sally. Now, this is a very big site and it's all about businesses in the Shire. So if we actually go through the site, we can click here, we can see that there's lots and lots of information of what's happening around. Are Burmese cats suitable? Okay, there's the questions and answers. So every time someone asks a question, it gets cleaned by the AI and written up to the site. If we look at the number of questions that have been asked over the last 4 months, because it's all it's been that Sally's been going, we can see there's lots and lots of questions. So we'll go to accommodation, that's always a good one. Have a look down here. Okay, there's some information about accommodation and the whole lot. All right, now let's go back to the beginning. You've got an AI assistant. That is the most important feature. We've featured websites before. Front and center, your website needs an AI assistant. I'm not going to go into the SEO and the getting discovered by LLMs, that they're in other videos, right? But that's the starting point. You've got an AI assistant. In this case, she's called Sally. So the next thing is, you want to train Sally on information, on knowledge. But the first one is let's say Sally was your business. You've represented, Sally is just representing your business, but you're particular the way you like your business to be mentioned. So if we now go into the code here, right? And this is a little bit of a sneak preview behind the scenes of how this stuff works, but trying to break it down so everyday people like you and me can understand it. Now, we've got the categories. In this case, if someone asks a question about cycling routes or dance studios, the AI will, which created these categories, by the way, based on the questions. I didn't go, oh, okay, maybe what categories are people going to be interested in? These were created by the questions. The AI creates the questions. Then at some stage, when there's so many questions, obviously to carry across nearly every category you can think of, in this case, there's about 400 categories, these categories will get locked in. So we select those categories. But importantly, the set of instructions that we give to the AI, the way we speak, the way we answer questions, how we return that question, the prompting, right? You are a friendly AI expert, right? We can decide the way Sally will answer the questions, okay? So now we'll jump up here. The best way, people say, I'm really busy. I haven't got time to be able to explain to an AI the way I want things done. Fantastic. Go and download the free version of ChatGPT and watch this. Hello.
Hello, we go, just like that, we're live and rolling. So let's dive in and have a bit of a conversation about your style and how you want things to flow. Feel free to toss me those instructions whenever you're ready, and I'll steer us there.
Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to pretend that I have a business, and I want you to ask me questions and extract as much information as you can of how I like to sell things and start to build a picture of my style. I want you to save that as a transcript, and then I can use that transcript when I'm creating the prompt for my AI assistant.
Absolutely, I've got you covered. So let's jump into it. Imagine you're the business owner and I'll start asking you a few questions to dig into your sales style. Here we go. Hey there, Dave. So tell me a bit about how you like to connect with your customers. Do you see yourself as more of a laid-back conversational seller, or do you like to keep things pretty direct and to the point? Let me know what kind of vibe you usually go for.
Okay, I can interrupt too, which is the great thing about voice. Okay, I'm fairly laid back. I don't like to pressure people, but I do like to get my point across if I think it's important and it's an important note. So I'm not pushy, but if it's an important issue, I'm probably really want to emphasize that point, but basically pretty laid back.
Got it, Dave. That's really helpful. So we're all about keeping it relaxed and easygoing, but when there's something you feel is truly key, you want to put a nice bold underline on it. Perfect. So let's build on that. Do you have any particular ways you like to emphasize those important points? Maybe a bit of humor, a personal story, or just a straightforward, hey, this really matters. Let me know and we'll shape that style up even more.
I like a friendly style, and I like a discussion type style where we just talk about things, and then we might talk about the product or whatever we happen to be selling, and if there's an important part of that product, it comes from, I suppose, being a fire captain and needing to get my message across very quickly. There's a fire coming over the hill. You need to do this, this, and this, right? But at the same token, before that, you're quite friendly. You should mow the grass so the snakes don't come up. Don't worry about clearing the fire break. So it's a bit of a mix of both.
Absolutely, that paints a really clear picture, Dave. So you've got this nice, friendly, let's just chat vibe most of the time, and then when something's crucial, like your firefighting days kicking in, you know exactly how to make people sit up and listen to that important bit. That mix of easygoing conversation with a clear, urgent highlight is a great combo. So we'll shape the assistant's tone to match that. Mostly friendly and chatty, and then when there's a key point, we'll kind of switch gears into that this really matters mode. Perfect, I'll keep all that in our transcript, and you'll have it ready for shaping your AI assistant's personality.
Fantastic, thanks for that.
You're absolutely welcome. Happy to help nail down that style for you. If you need anything else, just let me know and we'll keep the conversation going.
Okay, step one. That wasn't hard at all, was it? Basically, that was me talking to the AI who will guide the conversation better than you trying to think of the question. It knows exactly the information. It got the information from me. I answered the information. It will write a prompt, and I will be able to, let's go down here, enter that prompt into the code to train the AI assistant in the style that we like to answer. Okay, so this is the first time, if you had a staff member and you want to train a staff member how to answer the way that you answer in your business, you're onboarding new staff, it's difficult. This way, the AI assistant, you can tell it exactly the way you want to do. So let's call that step one. Right, now we'll go up to here, Sutherland Sally again. All right, so now we've got our AI assistant and we've got our site. Now, this could be a site for anything. This could be a site about your specialty topic. You might be a specialist in, I don't know, party balloons. Let's go something a bit bigger. You're a specialist in facial treatment, a particular type of facial treatment, or a wellness clinic, and you do a particular type of operation. So you want to set up an AI assistant that knows all about wellness clinics. So you set it up comprehensively. The next thing you need to do, obviously, once the site's set up and all running, you need to start marketing the site. Now, let's jump in to the AI section and let's have a look here. Over here, last week I showed you a program that I made that it helps me create and target emails. So basically, I enter the email address of a business, I enter their business name, and then I find out where they are on Sally. So there's two ways that I did this. Let's go and have a look at the first way. The first way is basically I went to Google Maps. So I can go to Google Maps, and here's Google Maps, very easy. I can zoom in here. It doesn't show me any particular type of business at this stage. It's just got general names. But let's say, all right, we'll just do beauty, B-E-U-T-Y. Okay, let's find if we can see some beauty stuff. Are there any beauty places? Here we go. Jocelyn's hair. So if we click on Jocelyn's hair, we can see there, we can scroll down here, Jocelyn has got a website. So we'll copy her website and we'll open up another browser window here and we'll paste that into here. And we will look at Jocelyn's website. Okay, there's Jocelyn's website. All right, Jocelyn's got some information there about what she does and everything else. Now, that's a fairly complicated web address, right? But let's copy this into our email marketing tool. All right, so there's the URL. Quite a complicated URL, but still, it's there. All right, and the name of the business. Let's just cheat and we'll cut and paste this. Oh, better get that there. Copy this here. Copy, back into here, put the business name in, paste the business name. And now what we'll do is we want to see if Jocelyn Biank's hair is on Sutherland Sally. So let's ask a question. I am after a good hairdresser. How about Control V, Jocelyn Butcher's hair? What can you tell me? What can you tell me? All right, so I'll send that message off and we'll have a look and see what happens. So I've asked for a hairdresser. Someone might have recommended me to Jocelyn Banks's hair. Either way, we'll find out if Sally knows about Jocelyn Banks's hair. Big shout out for you, Jocelyn, if you're watching, which you're probably not, but anyway, we'll see what happens. Okay, so we've asked the question. Now, what the database is doing, it's going to the knowledge file, then it's going, and there we go, we've got some information about Jocelyn's hair. Fantastic, look at that. 25 years experience, specialties, all about Jocelyn's hair. Now, Jocelyn doesn't know that she's on Sutherland Sally. In case of your business, there might be a business for the blow-up party balloons or whatever, beauty, whatever you want to do. So, the great thing is, with the structure I've made, this is the output page that everyone sees, displays great on a phone as well. Let's refresh that page. Hairdressing services, there we go. There's Sally with her lovely locks. Hairdressing services, down here, you asked about hairdressing, and here is the answer, all about Jocelyn's hairdressing. So what we'll do is, we'll grab this page here, we'll copy that, we'll go back into here, and we'll put this in here. And this shows Jocelyn that she is actually on Sutherland Sally. Then we'll get someone to analyze. Oh, it's not someone, it's the AI. The AI will actually go to the site and we'll see what happens here with the site. There we go. All right, now it didn't find Jocelyn's email, or it found lots and lots of emails there. And there we've got all about her site. G'day guys, hope you are well. We were recommended to contact you, a well-established business. So it actually creates a question about, Jocelyn's blog has made significant impact on the community. Okay, fantastic. Now, I might go back to Jocelyn's page, see if there is some form of contact email. It looks like this page is sort of like a generic page. So if this is the case and we haven't found an email, that's fine. We might ring Jocelyn because we've actually got Jocelyn's phone numbers here. Okay, so we'll preview the email in this case. Now, that is obviously not an email address that we're going to send it to, right? So I'm going to delete that email. And what I might do is I'll just update the preview. There is no email. Oh, it's going to get rid of that. Okay, we'll email it to myself. admin@online.info. Okay, so there you go. I'll email it to myself. I'll update the preview. And we'll send the email. Now we can see here, what I will do is I will probably contact Jocelyn, or get someone to contact Jocelyn to tell her that she's on Sutherland Sally, all right? We can go to Outbox and we can see the emails that have been sent. Now this one has been sent to me. Now that will indicate to me that this company hasn't got an email. So in the workflow next, I set up a database. We can refresh the database. We can go down to the bottom of the database. And we can have a look at the email we just sent. So we know what has actually been sent and received from the database that is coming from there. So we'll go down the bottom here and we can see here that there's one there. Now it's obviously not their email, so the best way for me to do that is just remove that email address. and that way I know that I probably need to ring her. So I've created a list. Now, the other interesting part about this is when I go and have a look at Jocelyn's information, all this information now will get fed back into the system because we now have a summary of what Jocelyn does, as well as a question about what she does. And we've got all her information. So not only are we doing research or trying to find emails, we're actually growing our business because they might not have an email, and a lot of these places don't because they have contact forms and so forth. So we're not wasting our time. Other email marketing programs, that's it, no email, no joy. This gets added to the system. Now, let's go and we'll do another one of these because I really want to show you guys how this works. Let's zoom out of here and let's see if we can find, let's go to another, let's not go to beauty, let's go to coffee shops. Coffee shops are always good. All right, because a coffee shop would want to know that it's around the place. There we go, we've got Yawn Coffee. Here we go, that'll do. Let's click on there. They've got a website. It looks like it's a fairly ordinary website, but we'll go there and have a look. I'll get rid of Jocelyn here, we'll replace this. It's a square site web space, so it may... Okay, so it's fairly straightforward. All right, but that's okay. We'll see what we get out of it. So we'll grab this and we'll do the same thing. We'll go into the marketing tool, back to the home page, and then we'll go and we'll paste this in here. That is the company. Go over here and have a look at what they're called. Yawn Coffee Project. There we go. We'll copy that. Copy, and we will put it back into here. And then we'll go back into Sally. We'll actually go to the home page. And then we will ask a question. All right. Looking to grab a coffee. Can you tell me about, paste that in, the Yawn Coffee Project. Now let's see if Sally knows about the Yawn Coffee Project. And you can see here what I'm doing. So what it is, it's a marketing process, but it's not just marketing, it's building up your knowledge file on whatever that field is. Now imagine this wasn't Sutherland. Imagine this was dental practices in Australia, or conversation when you set the system up, because it's now creating the conversation about that topic. We'll go back here. Okay, back down here now, we can see that it didn't know about the Yawn Coffee Project, all right? So we'll refresh the page and it's going to go, look, sorry, I don't know. It's put it into cafes. It's put the question into cafes, right? What information is available about the Yawn Coffee Project? Here we go. We asked about the Yawn Coffee Project and it's given us some other coffee shops. So the people at Yawn might want to know that they're not listed. So why don't I send them this email? I can do this, paste that in, and we'll put the AI to the work that will go and visit that website that I just visit. It will make a summary of that website. It will discover the email addresses and we'll be able to send an email. Okay, so there we go here, himystore.com. Let's go back and check if there is an email on here. Okay, we can actually take this because quite often what happens with the scraping is that it doesn't find the exact email, but we've actually got the exact email there. So now we just simply go back into there. I can go to the email preview and we can put the correct email address in. Okay, so now Lauren will get an email. I'll update the preview and we will see there's her website. There's the page that she's on, right? And we will send that off, send the email. Okay, and then we can go home and we can see when we go to the outbox that email's been sent. So this is a pretty clever way. All right, let's continue and see where we go on from here. All right, so the first thing is, let's have a look at the output for what it says about Yawn Coffee, right? So if I then go into our management page here and refresh this, these are the questions that have been asked by people. What information have you got about Yawn Cafe? Well, I don't have details on Yawn Cafe, blah, 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 right? So we can actually edit that, right? It's in cafes at the moment. but we could actually edit that. You asked about what's available on Yawn Project. I don't know the details of Yawn Coffee Project. Here's some lovely cafes, all right? We can change this. So let's say the corner cafe, we knew the corner cafe didn't want to be on the side, or whatever the case may be, whatever we want to do, or we don't like the people there, I don't know, whatever we want to decide, we can just change that. We can save the transcript, and in live time, it will actually remove that. We only want 1, 2, 3. Let's put it in a nice way. We only want 3 coffee shops. We don't want 4. So we go back to the transcript page. It's been saved, right? And if we then go back to the output page, the page we were just on, and I hit refresh, so we go down here and we'll have a look. So there's the information there. We hit refresh, and now it's gone, right? So we have complete control over what's going on. We own the conversation. This is why I bang on about owning the conversation. But this is great information for the general public because we're adding to this site. So the next section is, well, we've already logged into there. We've managed that section there. Now, I hear you cry. That's great, but at the moment you're going to Google Maps, which is fine. We're doing it one step at a time. Let's do a live experiment. You may remember that I have got special access to the Comet browser from Perplexity. Now, what I did to show you guys how you can use the new technology, and not everyone will have access to this yet, but this is the future. This is the way that we will use. This will be, in effect, an employee. Imagine I said, okay, Jan, what I want you to do is I want you to do a research project for me. I want you to find me at least 500 businesses. Now, we already know all I need is their business name and their website address, and we can do the rest from there. So instead of going through Google, let's set the task to AI. So over here, in the deep research, I set this task. And you can see here where it's got, yes, I'm actually working. Oh, let's check in and see where they're up to. Step 1, searching for reputable public directories, trying to find the information for you. Okay, let's type in here. How are we progressing? I asked this about 15 minutes ago. How are we progressing, Mr. Comet? We'll have a look and it should tell us where we're up to. Okay, right, here we go. Progress. So far, they're looking at that, opening the public directories, displaying proceedings to review and extract the list from directory now, screen updates as data is added. Now, what will happen is, this is just like giving a worker something to do. It will actually go through and do the work. So it is an autonomous agent in an agentic workflow looking for the information as a research project. Now, let's go in, and I haven't done this yet, let's go into ChatGPT. I went and took the same prompt, and I've just injected the same prompt into the agent of ChatGPT. Let's see what happens when I click on this. This is a research project, not an automated scraping. We're not scraping, we want to find the information out. So if it's listed anywhere, we really just want the business names and their emails. Okay, so it's got it. It's going to go and search other reputable sources. It's thinking. Now this might take, here we go, the browser tool. Look at this, right? This is what I mean, folks. This is the future. You give a task to the AI, no different to you give one of your staff a task they don't necessarily want to do because it's boring and laborious, and they will go through and see what they can do. We can see here that obviously some sites it's not going to find, they're blocked by Cloudflare, but as a cheap research way to actually gather the information, I have just set my agent a task at doing this. I now have 2 agents going with this task. The 2 agents, one is going here, the other one is down here. It's still going over here. Now, this task will take a while, but you can see what will happen. It will come back with a list. When I get that list, I will be able to, look at that, here we go, look at that. It's found the Sutherland business directory. It's now looking, okay, it's explaining exactly what it's doing. Hands-free, I'm not touching any of this. This is the future. This is the way we do it. The office of the future, I talked about the clicker. The clicker is the one that approves to go to the next screen. You will be able to automate your workflow. People are doing this right now. Is your business doing this? That's the question you need to ask yourself, all right? So we'll let that do that. Beautiful to watch. Now, again, while I'm here, let me just explain something. The difference between the browser and the browser on your machine. Now, this is a cloud-based browser that OpenAI are using. So they have got the browser on their screen, they're going through the process. With Perplexity and the Comet browser, this is a browser you download like Google Chrome, and you can actually use this as a browser. Now, this has far more power because it can actually interact with the things that you're doing, and you can give it permissions to pay a bill for you or go in and have a look at a particular site, like, you know, you might have a hotel and you want booking.com, so you can get it to go in and analyze the data. Whereas it's a little bit more difficult when you're using the browser-based technology because it hasn't got the limit, it's got limitations, right? It can't actually go in and click on buttons that are important that it can't see, all right? So just going back, so this doesn't drag on forever and I put you all to sleep, we'll go back to the outbox here. So not only with our marketing are we collecting the information, which is adding to our knowledge file and increasing our data, what we can also do is we can do it in bulk. And this is the command that I've set. So when I want to do a bulk piece of information, right? Here I can upload a file, a CSV file, just with those 500 names and the URL. I can then go through, I can check on Sally whether they've got them. I can even automate whether they're on Sally. I can go into the knowledge file, and this is a good opportunity to show you this. We're feeding the system with more information. If I go into the outbox and I click on this file here, this is the JSON file, which actually is putting the information from the questions that we're asking into a way that can go straight into the knowledge file. So we can see there, now we have information about the Yawn Cafe. So the Yawn Cafe will go into the knowledge file. So next time someone asks, what is the Yawn Coffee project? Okay, let's do that as an example, all right? I'm just gonna go and let's have a look at this. We will go into, I will go into my OpenAI, and we will go into here and go into my dashboard, and I will go down into the assistants, and we will go into Sutherland Sally. She will be here somewhere. Okay, there's Sutherland Sally, and I'll move this over here. This is our vector database. So this actually has the information of all the information about the site, and as new information and questions are created, it will show these new information and question. Let's add this now, right? So I'm going to upload the file. We'll go into where the file is. That's the file I just created, the JSON file. We'll attach that. Okay, so we will attach that. So now what will happen is, if we go back into Sally and we ask about the Yawn Coffee project, right? Let's ask the same question. What is available about the Yawn Coffee project? We'll go home here. Okay, we can see that the assistant has now taken that information up. And there are two places we can do this actually, just before I go there. Let's go into here and we'll go into the knowledge files, because we can actually add this directly to the knowledge file. We can see here that Sally's knowledge file, we could put that straight into there and that will instantaneously put this information up. But let's go back to Sally here and let's ask the same question again. Now we've done the research and we have the information. All right, send. We should now see that it knows about the Yawn Coffee project because we've actually put the information into it straight away. And this is the same with being able to promote events straight away. The AI will clean the events, sanitize the events, make sure nothing nasty comes out. There we go. Look at that. You are now featured on Sutherland Sally. So I haven't got your email. Oh no, in this case I have got your email. I've sent you some information to notify where you're at. We can go and hit refresh here, and someone's asked a question about bowling clubs, so let's just come in, we'll go to cafes. Okay, and we can see here, didn't have the information before, now it's got the information, and it's redacted the address because I got safety set on there, it might have thought something was wrong, but now that information is actually up there and ready to go. So we can see that by using the AI, I'll jump back up here, there is the most practical way that I can show you how you use AI. We are using AI. Let me step through the process again. You have an AI assistant. We've used AI to get the information. We talked to ChatGPT and we got a transcript of the way we like to sell. That's our starting point. Then we take all our company information or whatever information we can find, and we then basically put that information into the knowledge file. We then have an AI assistant that's trained to speak the way we speak, with our thoughts, with our ideas. We can tweak that as well with the prompt. We have the knowledge. We create this site. We let people ask it questions. It creates the categories on that subject. I'm not an expert on blow-up party balloons. People asking questions are. That's why they're looking for a party balloon. We can also get the AI to form some questions to get it started to create the categories. So we create this world. We're putting out conversation. It's real conversation. Even though we're letting the AI answer it, this isn't just some robot going, yes, we will do this. This is looking. It's gone to their site. It's found their information. All it's done is clean it up, paraphrase it, and bring it back to you in a better format. Okay? This is the key. It's not about AI doing all the work. We're just using AI to do the heavy lifting. That's the first section. The next section is someone asks a question. Let's say they say a really bad word in the question, right? Bullshit, whatever. It removes that. It won't publish that, okay? It uses the intelligence to go, I shouldn't publish this question, okay? Right? It needs to know that. You can manipulate and train at what level you want to cut it off. But basically the AI is guardrailed. It's not going to pre-produce it. It then produces the output page. The output page, second level of AI, right? Third level of AI, if someone's got an event they want to publish instantaneously. They don't need to do the process I just did. They put in, please promote my coffee, 50% off from Saturday the 1st to Saturday the 7th. Hit the button. The AI will look at it and go, okay, well, that's pretty clean. Let's publish that. Straight away, someone says, I'm after a cup of coffee. Oh, Yawn Coffee have 50% off from the 1st to the 7th. Instantaneous. We're using the AI. Imagine before the AI. They would have to ring you, fill in a form. Those days are gone. We use the AI. Then, on the marketing side, we use the AI to go and summarize, again, what's going on. We use the AI to send the email. We're basically using AI in the workflow, and it's becoming very effective. And if you don't understand AI, hopefully this will help. So, sorry this is a little bit long-winded, but I really wanted to show from A to Z, or Z, whatever you want to call it, how we do the workflow. How this is a practical, as I just said to Zen, I'm a practical guy. This is a practical system I've got to do it. So if you're interested, contact me below, above, whatever you want to do, whatever I'm supposed to say. I don't care whether you subscribe or not, it's up to you. I'm just giving you the information, right? But at the end of the day, I'm here, start to understand AI, own the conversation. The time for doing this will be limited. It's like I make videos. I make some really good production videos using AI. In 12 months' time, white noise. You can have the most spectacular Steven Spielberg produced video, Jurassic Park style. People are just not going to take as much notice. The world is changing, folks. The way we do things is changing. You need to get on board. Okay, I'll leave it there. Otherwise, I'll run out of voice and I'll keep ranting. Okay, thank you for joining me. I will catch you in the next one. Later on in the week, I'll put up another one. Please feel free to contact me if you need to know any further information. Okay, I'm Dave, signing off. I'll see you in the next one.